Hey guys, I wanted to talk about something that's a little bit more of a serious topic compared to other videos that I do. If you don't know, there have been a crazy amount of natural disasters that have been happening in Japan all summer. Kind of started at the end of June, beginning of July with flooding in Hiroshima and other southern parts of Japan. We've had several typhoons, most of them to hit Osaka, not to mention a lot of earthquakes. The most recent one, which just hit Hokkaido, it came out that 42 people died, and since there was a whole bunch of rain before the earthquake, landslides were triggered and homes were destroyed, roads were destroyed, and it was a really serious thing. I have a friend who lives up in Sapporo that said that, he was going to convenience stores and they were running out of food and school was canceled for a week. So keep in mind that even though Japan gets earthquakes all the time, Hokkaido doesn't really get them all that often compared to the other islands in Japan. And this one was like a 6.8, 6.9. I think I've also read 7.0. And basically the point of this video is that there is a company called Nintendo, very popular video game company. You probably already know who they are. They planned to have what is called the Nintendo Direct. If you're not familiar, it's basically Nintendo's live stream that happens probably 4 or 5 times a year, and they announce new video games and show footage, and it's something that's really exciting for Nintendo fans and something that a lot of fans look forward to every time that they announce something. So the day that the Nintendo Direct was supposed to air was about a day, maybe not even a day, after the Hokkaido earthquake happened, and news was still coming in about how bad the earthquake was and what had happened and who was affected. And Nintendo decided to cancel this Nintendo Direct. Keep in mind, these are usually events that are already pre-recorded that they could release, but they decided to postpone it. And this made a small selection of fans very mad. Definitely not the majority. The majority of Nintendo fans were very understanding. Like, the country just had a really bad natural disaster that killed people. It is okay. We can wait for our silly video game. But there was a small selection of fans that honestly refused to understand actually why the Direct is canceled and why it's normal for stuff like that to be canceled in Japan. There's a term called jishuku, and basically the term is related to, we're gonna go to this park over here. The term is related to the fact that in Japan, when tragedy strikes, things get canceled and people come together in order to mourn. For example, when the great earthquake hit eastern Japan, the Tohoku earthquake in 2011, there were sakura blossom festivals canceled and graduation events canceled. Japan goes as far to pull marketing and pull advertising and sales and stuff like that. And canceling events is just something that is not necessarily needed, but it's something that Japan does in order to respect victims. So when people post things like saying, oh, why couldn't they just continue it? And some people are just saying, oh, it wasn't that bad of a situation. And they whine and complain that I can't watch my video game thing, or I can't have my video game news, and, this is stupid and all that nonsense. I think they just fail to understand that, Nintendo is a Japanese company, and they're going to conform to what Japan usually does in these times. And if that means, canceling a really silly, stupid little live stream of video game announcements, then that's what they're gonna do. So I just kind of want to make it clear to any gamers who were mad or upset or just didn't understand why Nintendo Direct had to cancel this, or not even had to cancel this, but why they chose to. Literally just going back to, it's the cultural norm here to do so. I mean, it's kind of like you go back to thinking about September 11th, 2001 in the United States. Schools were closed and all the airports closed, and, while we could argue that that was a way bigger deal than, the earthquake in Hokkaido, which, we're not here to compare tragedies, but, how would you feel if someone from outside the United States said something like that? Like, oh, why does this event have to be canceled? It's not like that. What happened was too bad. Like, you wouldn't want anyone outside of your country to say that. And, I just feel like it's completely ignorant to tell Japan and tell Nintendo how they should mourn and how they should respect their own victims in their own country. And Nintendo Direct ever gets canceled like that for some reason again, or just any kind of Japanese event, just understand that that's the way it works here, and even though it might not work the same in your country, you know, it costs $0 and 0 cents to just respect the country and then the way that they do things. So anyway guys, I don't know what really brought me to this park. I've actually never sat here before, and it's actually kind of nice. I should come here more often. Guys, I know this was a little bit more of a serious topic, but I did want to throw that out there. There are just some terrible people out there that just refuse to understand that people's way of life might be different than theirs. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys join the next video, and I'll play with you some other time. I'm a soldier.